And welcome back. This is the lovely spring evening view from Kyle's kitchen. Dun, 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 ta-da! There she is. I think that was my best opening yet. Bar the puppet, Chris's puppet opening, which cannot really be beaten.
No.
See that one?
Not even going to try.
Probably best.
Not even going to try.
So, welcome everybody. It is cook along time. We have all our ingredients out from the intro video, except, just reminding myself, the butter, which, you might remember me saying, needs to be chilled for the dumplings. So, gonna pop that back in the fridge seamlessly. So make sure your butter is chilled. Everything else we can have out. So you might want to pause the video and make sure you've got everything ready. And we are going to get started. Kyle.
Yes.
This is what we're gonna need. A big pot, which you somehow anticipated and is already sitting on your hob.
Magic.
Very good, magical. If you have a casserole dish, obviously you'll be wanting to use that because that can go straight into the oven, but we are going to use a pot for the first part. We've also got out our chopping board, a knife to hand, I am sure.
Always.
There it is. Perfect. So we are going to start by getting the stew in the pot. That's what we want to do. So we want, basically if your stove takes a long time to heat up.
Does not.
Does not?
No.
Okay, perfect. Then what we're going to do is just add our olive oil to the pot cold then for now. If you're working at home with an electric stove that takes a really long time, you might want to put it on now. We are not going to though, but we're putting in 2 tablespoons of olive oil into our pot.
Which I'm just gonna...
You're just gonna eyeball that?
Yeah.
That's good.
Except it doesn't come out very fast. You're really gonna have to...
It's pretty hard to eyeball.
You're really gonna have to just work with me.
I don't really think you can overdo the olive oil.
At this point it looks like I'm wanking off the oil, which is not a good... It's not a good
Straight
start.
in there with the smut.
I thought I should just give you what you wanted, Grace.
That is why we're here, after all.
It's the only reason you asked me back. Okay,
so that is ready, but we're not going to preheat it just yet. We're going to get our onion, which is over on the side here.
Yes.
And we want to thinly slice that. So I generally do that by cutting it in half and then thinly slicing across the halves.
Take the ends off first?
Definitely remove the ends first, But yeah, we're going for thin onion slices.
Excellent.
And while Kyle does that, I'm going to top up our wine.
I thought you were going to show them the contents of the sink and that they don't need. That's not necessary. Oh, I thank you very much, Grace.
So we are drinking a Primitivo, an Italian red, with a very classy little bottle stop. Oh, what am I doing? I've not topped up my wine.
So thin slices.
Thin slice. So yeah, I would usually chop that in half first.
Like this or that? Which way do you want it?
I would put it on its flat end so it's easier. Chop it in half. Yeah.
That would be the easier way.
And then flatten down and then thin slice across. That's how I would
That's not what I was going to do. I was going to make it surprisingly difficult for myself and your viewers, and far more likely to cause injuries.
Oh my goodness, I'm here, Kyle.
I can't cook without you now, Grace. I starved for months.
This is my plan. I'm creating dependency so that my friends have to invite me around whenever they want to cook.
This is why I bake people cookies, Grace, because then they get so fat they can't leave my house.
That's a lot of stairs to roll down. You're right.
Oh.
That would be difficult.
Yeah, it is. People usually just give up. Between the cookies and my pessimism, they give up.
The cookies are so good, my God. We might want to get a little kitchen scrap bowl. Unless you want to keep going to and fro the bin.
I'm just going to keep going to and from the bin.
Okay. Kyle is going to and from. You might want to get a little kitchen scrap bowl at home if it's easier.
Yeah.
So now would be the time for us to heat up our oil, because it's apparently quite a fast one. We're going for a low medium because we really want to sweat these onions down, get them cooking nice and gently, so that they get nice and sweet and don't catch. So yeah, a medium low heat.
Then I'm putting it on, my stove, if you remember from last time, is shit. So I'm putting it on 3.
Very good.
Because it heats up quickly, but then it doesn't really
doesn't change after that.
No, it doesn't change.
I would let it heat up before we add the onion, just so they don't soak up too much of the oil before they start to cook.
Fair enough.
That's kind of my preference.
Do you want me to chop anything or prep anything else?
Yes, while the onion is heating, while the oil is heating, we could start prepping the aubergine.
Okay.
So we're going to want to wash them, because I confess I did not do that beforehand.
Lazy Grace
I like
to make
to,
me do.
Leave you all the work. That's what it's all about.
Slave driver. All right. Washed
and ready. We are going for 3 centimeter chunks, which is about half a thumb. Half my thumb. Please don't use my thumb to measure.
Come on, Grace. Over you come. So about that, yeah?
Yeah, that looks perfect. And then I would do that into quarters.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to slice them all the way down first.
That
and then
is a good plan.
Quarter them more than one at a time. If that's okay with you.
That is okay, although I do feel like the larger rounds might need more than a quarter.
Probably. But we can pair
see.
them up a little bit.
That's true.
So you want roughly that size?
Yes.
Cool.
I think that is just perfect.
Excellent. Then with some of the other ones that are about equal size, I'm going to do 2 or 3 at a time, just to make it a bit faster.
That makes a lot of sense, Kyle.
Or 4
Whoa,
at a time.
Look at this.
And then I'll do 3.
Yeah, I think
this?
that one could go into 3s, exactly.
Okay.
Perfectly done. Almost went in the
Cheeky.
sink. I might have to film the sink.
I will try to not let that happen.
I think you've just done a splendid job here.
Why, thank you very much.
It's weird how quickly it starts going brown, isn't it?
Are you okay with the ends
Yes,
like this? Okay.
absolutely.
Some people don't like them.
I am not that person.
She beats us if we get it wrong, so...
We're going to check Kyle's oil by tossing a little piece in.
It won't be done yet.
It's not.
No.
Correct. Now we know for sure.
I actually didn't have to let you do that, I knew, but you know.
Should we turn it up just a notch to get it heated faster, maybe?
Go ahead. Do you want me to do that too?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Then. I shouldn't be doing too much because
done.
No one has got a sous chef with them at home. I
mean, that is hardly the job of a sous chef. I'm going to turn this nozzle. No one else is allowed to do it.
Of the profession.
Dangerous stuff. Hard job.
Beautiful. Look how quickly she gets through this prep. Now that is a sous chef, isn't it? Prepping. I don't know what a sous chef is. I think that's becoming very evident. It's just the under chef. It's the bottom. You have the top chef and the bottom chef.
Oh no.
But what they do, I'm not entirely sure.
We'll leave that to their own personal preference.
Cheers. Did we cheers?
Oh no, we didn't. Cheers.
Kyle does not like looking people in the eyes.
Really don't.
Weirdly, I tried to make eye contact with you through the camera, so maybe that's more comfortable for you actually.
No, because I still can't look at my wine, which is my favorite part of the entire exchange. Okay, so this is still heating up.
Okay.
It'll take probably about 3 more minutes, 4 more minutes.
Well, we're just flying through this. I'll tell you what, because our chili flakes are not flakes, we could chop up those dried chilies.
Cool. I'm going to get
them into flakes.
Smaller chopping board.
Oh, look how cute.
For the garlic and the chilies.
Very good plan, actually.
Because otherwise, everything will taste like garlic and chili.
Now I feel like I need a mini chopping board for that purpose.
Okay, it wasn't a mini chopping board. It was a whole chopping board, and it broke.
Can I take that one then?
No, it's my favorite.
Oh,
I chopped tiny slices of garlic on it. You can't have it. I got too angry about the small chopping boards. Just very passionate about not looking people in the eye and my tiny chopping board.
Hey, I respect that.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going for, I think, about a teaspoon of flakes. These chilies, as Taylor will attest to, are quite hot.
Okay.
So maybe half a teaspoon of that.
Okay. Do you want any seeds in?
I think so. I think, to be honest, I think all of the heat from these chilies comes from the seeds. Mm-hmm. And we do want heat. It is supposed to be a spicy dish.
Okay. I'll put some of the seeds in, just in case.
Yeah.
But I'll just chop it a little bit more
Obviously, if you at home are using chili flakes, you can just watch us doing this and sip on some wine and be glad that you're not having to deal with this right now. Yeah.
Be glad that your prep partner did the right prep.
I had one job to do.
One job, Grace. Okay, I think that's probably enough seeds if they're quite hot.
I think so too.
I'm just
empty
going to
the seeds out.
Empty the seeds out. They're like
we'll
baby maracas.
I'm so sad I didn't get that on camera.
Now you got it on camera. It just reminds me of The
pleased.
Mask, though, when he's like dancing around the park.
Wow, there's a film I've not seen in a long time. Oh,
Okay, we're getting a few more seeds because they didn't want to come out.
that's okay. I really think it's fine.
That's probably that good, or do you want more?
That's plenty, I would
Okay.
say.
A little
That's
bit more.
Probably a teaspoon. I mean, how are you on spice? I like food,
spice,
so I
but-
think a teaspoon's fine.
Yeah,
for
I think
us,
that's
our
probably fine.
purposes. Is that
Okay.
little sizzle I hear?
It is a tiny little sizzle.
I think we could add all of the
here?
onion in. I thought you were going to dip your hair in. Like,
Moving
that's
the
a
hair.
new technique to test oil heat.
Yes.
If it frazzles right up to the scalp, we're good to cook.
To the hospital. Do not do that. I know we're
We are
joking, but
not-
also do not
No,
put your hair
don't
in
do
boiling
that.
oil.
Right,
Okay.
I think we can go in with all the onion.
Excellent.
Nice, so that's what we want. We
Oh.
want that gentle sizzle.
Lovely sizzle.
Mhm.
And it does smell good. I love the smell of fried onions.
Yes. Yeah, as soon as anyone starts frying onions and garlic, I'm immediately like, oh wow, what's for dinner? It smells amazing. And the answer is always,
I am going
It's
to turn
just
it down now though,
Yes.
because it's going to stay at that
Yeah.
temperature.
very good. And then we'll need some kind of utensil. There we go.
I'm using my favorite spatula. Do you remember from last time?
I do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Pretty much everyone I film has one of those spatulas, and they're so good. And I really need to get myself one.
I'm not buying you one. if
Wink,
that's
wink.
what you're- TK Maxx.
Hey, TK Maxx, gonna do me a solid and send me a plastic spatula, please.
Send me one rubber spatula.
And a tiny chopping board while you're at it would be great.
You can send a medium-sized one. She can just break it herself.
Yeah.
Part of the joy. Okay, what else?
Super. So they are just going to cook nice and low and slow. We'll be giving them the occasional stir, but we want them to get nice and soft and translucent before we add anything else. So we can move on with some other prep bits. Quite frankly, we're racing through this.
We are.
So garlic, I guess.
Excellent.
2 large garlic cloves.
Look at those.
There they are.
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous cloves. And we're going to be crushing those if you have a garlic crusher, or grating them if you don't, or if you like to kind of just chop them up real fine, you can do that.
Excellent. I'm going to do exactly what I did last time, if you remember that. From either
Yes,
Gordon
you're
Ramsay
missing- Do you know
or
what?
Anthony.
That is one of the things that I now do. That is one of
Great,
the
isn't it?
techniques I have stolen from my time to cook.
Excellent. With these though, if you're going to do that, because they're so
They're very
wobbly, just be really, really
Yeah.
careful.
So Kyle smashes it
Yeah.
with a knife, and it kind of breaks up into lots of little chunks.
It almost minces it.
Yes.
So you get smaller chunks, you get bigger chunks, but I actually quite like that.
Also, if you really do want to make a pulpy garlic and you don't have a crusher or a grater, if you add a little salt to that minced garlic,
I'm going to pick that up
if
off
you
the
chuck
floor.
it on the floor and then
Rinse.
stamp on it,
Little,
it really works wonders.
like an old Italian woman making wine.
Exactly.
Excellent.
No, I might actually, I might demonstrate this technique, because when my mum taught it to me, I've just used it a lot since then. It's really good. You basically mix it with salt so that it's all coarse, and then with the flat side of the knife, you kind of scrape along and down. And shall I show you? Slash people at home,
Yeah.
just in case they want to know.
Absolutely. Do you want another clove of garlic?
No, I'll do it on this.
Okay.
Kyle's like, get out of my kitchen, bitch.
Like I just minced that garlic for you. I put in so much work. So
Hold up
viewers
for
at
me.
home. Oh, now I'm camera woman as well. Is there anything
That's
else you want me to do?
Yeah,
Grace?
everything, please.
Cool.
So you would add a little sprinkle, maybe a little more. Also, it seasons your garlic, which is no bad thing. And then using the edge of the knife like this, you squash it down.
Nice.
And you can see already it pulps it. Look at that pulp.
Very good. It makes a nice crunching noise
yes,
as well.
And it's very satisfying actually. Okay, I'm good.
Excellent. So this is where we all leave Grace and her garlic to be. We just carry on with our lives.
Well, you know, that's a technique that actually I really liked learning, and maybe it can be useful to people.
Grace just wanted to be on camera again. That's all she wanted. She's seen everyone else.
Fame.
It's my program. It's me.
I get none of the glory. That's exactly what it was.
Who knew that would bring you glory?
It really did. Also,
do you feel better?
I want to do the rest because it's just so satisfying.
No.
These are cooking really nicely. I'm going to start by will exercise. Self-restraint.
Try harder. Okay.
Okay, they're going to be going for about 3 to 4 more minutes, I would say. We don't want to skimp on the onion cooking because it really is what forms the base.
Mm-hmm.
And once they are nice and soft and translucent, that's when we're going to be adding the aubergine.
Okay.
But not yet.
Do I need to chop anything else?
Yeah, good question.
Probably parsley eventually.
Parsley
thyme.
eventually. The thyme, actually the sprigs of thyme go in whole, which is very nice and easy. The recipe suggests to tie up the thyme sprigs.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't mind picking them out, but
Me neither.
if people do at home, now would be the time to tie your thyme sprigs. I mean, what do you even use? Just like normal string? I
Cooking
suppose.
string or dental
Yeah,
floss that's
I
not
guess.
flavoured. Yeah,
Quite
don't put the
nice.
mint dental floss in. That's ruined many a recipe.
Have you done that?
I haven't, but I've known people who have, and you had to sit through the meal going,
Oh no, really?
lovely. Oh no, did you put mint in this? You know that way you have to ask when something is just shit. And you're like,
That's a problem.
this is delicious.
I just don't think I would ever think to use dental floss in the culinary setting anyway, but I suppose, like you say, if it's non-flavoured, then that would work quite well.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty hardy.
It is.
So what we could do is we could prep our stock
Okay.
that's going to be added eventually. I don't know, are you someone who like makes up the stock first, like dissolves it first, or do you just chuck the
Nope.
water in? Then we're
Chuck
not
it
going
in
to
the
do
bowl.
that. If I also do that,
Yeah.
chuck it in the bowl. So that's kind of, that seems like an unnecessary step, to be honest. Do you know what we could do?
I think it adds extra work that if you're not used to cooking, it just doesn't really need to be there
it's
that
true.
much.
Because we have plum tomatoes, we can open these and give them a little pre-chop, which is what I tend to do.
Okay.
So that you're not relying on just like smooshing them in the pan.
Cool. Now with the juice that's going to be in here, do you want us to get rid of it? Do you need us to keep it?
We'll be keeping it.
Cool.
We want all the juice we can get.
Then what I'm going to do, just get those out of the way so you don't get cut.
Mm-hmm.
Not a threat. Just
But I would chop them in the tin. Would be my
just put the knife
suggestion.
in.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that is usually what I do. If you've got a long enough knife, just like I would sort of try and quarter them almost, like go across the tin and then back again.
Excellent.
And,
So I rinse the knife. If you
Mhm.
haven't, I'd recommend if you've just cut the chili and the garlic,
that's true.
probably give it a rinse.
Although it's all going to be going in the same pot, I guess. But, yeah.
Mostly in case I think you cut yourself and then you get that.
Oh.
If that comes towards you, that's going to be
Yeah.
that's going to be painful.
That's true.
That's also, do not change your contact lenses if you have not washed your hands after garlic or chili.
Ooh.
That is,
Yeah.
you learn that lesson once. You learn it
Never have to
really,
learn it
really well.
again.
Doesn't take practice, that one.
Perfect. They're going to be well chopped. Yeah, and I find this, obviously you might be watching this being like, why not just buy chopped tomatoes? But I genuinely find that plum tomatoes contain more juice. And then when you chop them up, you just get an even juicier tomato experience. Like the Jimi Hendrix experience, but better.
better than Jimi Hendrix.
The even juicier tomato experience.
Then
No. The support
the
act.
title of his second album.
Look at that
Okay.
motion you've got going there. That was
Just tasting, just testing.
Tastes like tomatoes?
It tastes exactly like that
That
word
is
that we
perfect.
pronounce very differently from one another.
Oh, say it.
It's a tomato grape.
You say it. Tomato. Oh, you were supposed to say it.
Yeah, I know, and I wasn't
didn't
going
practice
to.
it.
No.
How are our onions looking?
They are
Nice.
beautiful.
They are well soft.
and they smell
Yeah.
divine.
I think this is the point where we can put in our aubergine.
Excellent. I'm going to move these out of the way so that they don't spill everywhere because we don't have spare.
In it goes. Oh,
There they go.
best efforts.
This might happen, and that's absolutely fine. I'm going to put the knife down.
Just grab them. There we go.
Some people are really funny about like touching the food when they cook for some reason. I think they think it's unhygienic.
Oh, I'm not that person.
No, and
Don't
I'm only
pick this up
feeding
now.
you, so oh yeah,
There you go.
you know what to do.
You know what to do. Mix
So-
that around so it's all coated in the oil. Exactly.
And the aubergines absorb oil so quickly.
They really do.
They're basically like little sponges.
They are little sponges. That's why frying aubergine, if you're not doing it in like a stew where you want it to cook down and get kind of mushy, frying aubergine in high heat oil is the best way to go because then it doesn't soak as much of it up.
Yeah,
But we want this to soak it up right now.
absolutely.
I would put our pan on one hotter, I think.
Yeah.
Also because a little bit later in the recipe it needs to be a little bit hotter.
Okay.
And I feel
I think at this point it's fine.
because the
wouldn't-
onions aren't going to burn anymore, because the aubergine I think can take a little more heat.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think we'll do that.
Okay. Looking good. Do you want to get another shot of the aubergines? Or eggplant
Beautiful.
for the Americans.
Oh yeah, that's right. Catering to all.
That's the only reason they bring me in. What's the weird American word for this?
That's true. You have useful knowledge for us.
I have that
Beautiful.
one bit of useful knowledge.
So this is just going to fry away for about 7 minutes. We're going to want to fry this for now.
Okay.
So it is 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I should have been able to do that much more easily than counting it off on my fingers. 3 plus 7. It's a tricky one.
It's hard. That's why we both work with language.
Exactly. I chose
No
my
numbers.
profession wisely. God, the day that I did my last ever maths exam was one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
Saying goodbye
Forever.
to maths forever.
Forever. It was so good.
I mean, they tell you you'll use it. You will use minimal amounts.
I will
of
use
what you
basic
learn.
adding,
Yes.
of which I will need either a calculator or my fingers. So
Exactly.
that a squared plus b squared nonsense.
Ain't no one using that.
I cried over that.
Oh no.
I cried in most math classes. I was not good at it. Find the area of this weird shape you can't even say the name of. No, I don't want to.
Why? Why do I need to?
I'm not
Tell me
going
when I'm
to
gonna
need
need to do this.
I'm not going to need that.
No.
Anyway. Okay, what are we doing next?
Okay, so we can just make sure that we have the things we're going to be adding next to the pan, I suppose. So the salt, for example.
Yep.
And the stock.
The time?
And the thyme, thank you. Keeping an eye on me.
I'm trying.
And the pesto.
Okay, you could have said that while I was over there, but that's fine. We'll make another
Mel
trip.
told me earlier that she hates going back and forth, so now I'm trying my best to make her go back and forth all the time.
I don't mind the going back and forth. I hate making more than one trip if unnecessary.
And the sugar.
I don't think you need that right now.
No, we do.
you?
We're getting it ready.
I'm not putting the sugar back, so now it's going to sit here in this massive
Looking
form.
very ostentatious. That's just so much bigger than it needs to be, but I respect it.
It's a sugar jar.
How many bags of sugar is that though?
It's just one.
Really? Wow.
I mean, yes. It's not chilled to the top, Grace.
Carl feels attacked now.
I feel like you're not respecting the jar.
No, I'm not.
I took time to open the bag.
Took time, just like stopping the time.
Oh, yeah. You know I love a pun. My favorite thing.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Now we need to decide, do we want to... So the recipe says 5 sprigs of thyme.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think we count as a sprig? Do you think that's 5 sprigs?
This is a one full stem, I would say.
Oh, wonderful. So we'll put loads in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love thyme.
Me too.
I don't think we can really go overboard.
I mean, that's like 1.5, and that's like a try. So I think that makes
a good
2.
college try. Yeah.
And that. Oh,
yeah.
It smells really good. That smell. There you go.
Oh, I wanted to smell that.
I was.
Oh, yeah, it does. It's not going in right now, by the way. I'm just desperately trying to find something we can do.
Just finger in the thyme. That's all. Okay, I'm gonna go put this back over here now, so it's out of the way.
Very good. We could get a tablespoon ready for our pesto. That is where we've got to right now. Perfect.
Tablespoon.
It's ready.
It's ready.
We could also, I mean, should we give the aubergine a quick stir?
Yeah.
I suppose?
Because why not?
Because why not?
Okay, that's heating up pretty quickly.
Did I get you to turn it too hot?
It's between 3 and 4. It's a fine line. They really need a 3.5, but it's going a bit mushy.
Exactly the issue we had with Georgia's dish.
Electric.
We needed a 6.5.
Yeah. Does she have an electric as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a very fancy induction hob.
Still not the same as gas.
No,
you can try to sell it to me, but I still hate electric stove.
Also, we broke it in the middle of cooking because the oil splatter was so severe from kind of almost deep frying this cauliflower. It went everywhere, and then the whole thing was turned off. We were turning off main switches.
Whereas, had you had gas, you could have had a bonfire.
Hooray!
Which is beautiful.
No,
Pyrotechnics.
We'll only be frying it for 3 more minutes, so it's up to you. If you think it needs turning down.
Well, what temperature do we need it for the next part? Do you need it slightly higher?
We're going to be simmering it, so it wants to go up a little bit just before the tomatoes go in, and we're not far off that point.
Yeah.
So I feel like
we'll leave it at 4.
Yeah.
I'll just keep stirring it a little bit more. So I guess if you're at home,
we're certainly on more of a medium right now than a medium low.
So if you're in the same situation at home, I would just say keep stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom.
As long as it's not burning and catching, then that's probably fine. If you've got gas and can keep it a bit lower, then that would be perfect.
Yeah. Because
we don't live in a perfect world.
You probably also don't want to add more oil at this point to stop it sticking.
Yeah.
Because it will mess up the whole thing.
It sure will.
All of your hard work will be for nothing.
Wow, voice of doom. For nothing.
You've met me before, Grace. Right? You know? I've smiled so many times for you today.
You've done so well.
This isn't normal.
I know. Your face is going to be aching by the end of this.
It hurts already and I regret everything.
So what I'm going to suggest we do at this point is get our stock water ready at least. Now, we want to measure it out in a measuring jug, and I realised I stole your measuring jug to measure the milk. Oh, we have a second. Perfect. So we want 250 mils of water ready to go.
It has been at the back of the shelf for a while. I'm just going to give it a little rinse. 200 mils.
250.
250.
So that's 1 cup if you're working with cups, or 250 mils.
Just moving that out of the way. This is a really comfortable position for anyone at home.
Oh, I wasn't even properly getting you there. I was away.
God. I would always just sit it on something flat to make sure it's the right amount. Mm-hmm. With some liquid measurements, it doesn't really matter. With others, it matters a lot.
Yeah, I think this one is quite important. So we'll keep that to the side for now.
Put it over there.
Okay, we are at the 7-minute mark. Okay. So we're going to add in now our garlic and chili. Okay. And this might be something where, because our hob is a little bit hot, We might want to have it like half on the heat, half off while we stir around the garlic and chili, because we really don't want to be burning that garlic.
Yeah. With the chili as well.
Yeah.
It's that fume might come back and hit you in the face.
That's very true.
So I would maybe recommend putting in the garlic first and then the chili.
So it's not going right onto the hot pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if your face is over that,
Ooh.
that's
Maybe it's the kind of excitement we all need right now.
I mean, it is Corona, so
Yeah.
Also while you're doing the first stir in, I would not have your face over that pot for the same reason.
Yeah.
You will fumigate yourself.
Good word.
Big
So
word.
we're just going to fry that for about a minute,
Okay.
just to take that raw edge off the garlic. Ooh. Get it all nicely stirred around. The pan can, the camera can handle it, so I'll put the camera in there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And again, if you have because this is a awful electric, I would keep stirring so that it doesn't burn.
Yeah. If you're on a lower gas heat, I mean, I think stirring, because we're only doing it for a minute, then constantly stirring is better anyway at this point. But all right, I think that's been about a minute. We are now going to stir through our sun-dried tomato pesto.
Okay.
So it is 4 tablespoons of that we want.
It's going to make a nice pop as well.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, so good.
That was probably really loud. If I put that right next to the microphone for everyone at home.
Lovely.
1, 2,
Oh, it
3.
smells good.
Yeah. And I usually count out loud when I'm putting teaspoons of stuff in, because otherwise you do forget.
Yeah.
And you think you're not going to forget what comes after 3, but you,
We just discussed our issues with math.
we don't numbers, no.
No. So you want to give this a nice stir through so that everything is coated in the pesto.
Nice.
See, I don't usually use pesto as like an ingredient in a dish, so this was a bit of a revelation for me. I was like, yeah, why not? Use it as an addition to the sauce.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of a stronger flavor. It's nice.
It is, yeah.
And you've got a little bit of extra oil in there as well,
Yeah,
so it doesn't
exactly.
burn.
Perfect.
Okay.
So at this point we're going to toss in our tomatoes. So that's good because we're cooking on this heat. That will take it right down, which is what we want. Well, not right down, it will just start to boil.
It's just going to go just like that.
And our 250 mils of stock is also going to go in at this point. So
I'm just going to stir all of this in first.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the stock, if we're not making it into a liquid really first, then are you just chucking it in?
We're just going to chuck it in, I think. So
I don't want it to get stuck
to
the aubergines, which
That's
is
true.
what it will do.
Good point.
Okay.
So our 250 mils of water is going to go in first, I would say. That removes even more of the likelihood of the stock sticking.
Exactly.
And then our stock is 1 heaped teaspoon per 250 mils. So that's what we are going to put in of the dried stock.
That was a less impressive opening
It was.
sound.
That was a bit disappointing, actually, wasn't it?
1.5, you said?
1 heaped.
1 heaped.
Yeah.
Heaped.
Heaped.
There we go.
Such a good word. Heaped.
Great word.
Perfect.
Okay, get that out of the way so we know we've used them.
Very good. The thyme is also going to go in now. Basically, we're adding everything at this point.
I'm just going to give this a wee mix first.
Oh yes, because we've added the stock without dissolving it. That is a very good idea.
You want to
mix it all in.
Yeah, you want to make sure at least most of the lumps are gone.
Mm-hmm.
There might still be some, but those will dissolve.
Yeah.
Yum. Again, if you're cooking this for someone and they complain, I mean, kick them out of your house. They don't deserve a meal. They should have cooked themselves.
Complain about what? Clumpy stock?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I complain.
I mean, or anything.
In the time goes, just like it is. We are going to be picking those stalks out, but the leaves kind come off naturally as they cook, which is nice.
Just
So yeah, you do want to submerge the thyme if you can.
I'm going to try to do it a little bit more gently than with the other stuff.
But we will also be putting in some seasoning now, so we'll be giving it more of a stir once we've added that too.
Excellent. Okay, thyme is in. It's
Thyme
submerged.
is in. So we are going to add a little sugar at this point. I think a 1/4 teaspoon is what is called for.
Just put the messy spoon to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Get my little blue spoon. Do I need the 1/2 teaspoon at any point?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. No, I don't think so.
You answered too slowly. So I'm going to hold it out of the way. So
I think we do for the dumplings.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Okay.
1/4 teaspoon sugar. Oh, that looks pathetic, doesn't it? I would honestly go in with a 1/2.
Okay, so if you've just had that happen, you just put another 1/4 in if you're not good at maths. Grace,
Just
we've
change my
already
mind.
discussed.
We'll tell
not
you if this turns out way too sweet.
That's maths.
And then we want a little bit of seasoning, so a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. We will be adjusting it later, but
Pinch of salt.
pinch of salt.
I love
a healthy pinch, I would say.
that with a healthy pinch.
Very good.
Always.
And a little sprinkling of pepper or some grinds of pepper if you're doing freshly ground.
There we go.
Beautiful. Now ours has already come to a nice simmer, maybe even quite a vigorous simmer. So I'd say we could turn it 1 down, maybe.
Excellent.
And is that your usual simmering?
3 is the normal
Perfect.
simmer.
Yeah. So
Also, when you put that pepper in, if it's not ground, move your head away because that goes right up the nose.
pepper spray right in the face.
Yeah, basically you pepper spray yourself and then you sneeze into the dish and then the family can complain. That's fair enough.
So when everything is well mixed in, your thyme is submerged. Try and submerge your aubergine pieces as well, I would say. And then we are just going to leave this. Very, very simple. This is going to simmer away. For 5 minutes, it's going to simmer open, so without a lid. And then after 5 minutes, I'm going to get Kyle to make some sort of lid, because I know she doesn't actually have any.
I was waiting for that to happen. I was like, I've got a big disappointment for you folks at home. It's makeshift lid time.
Makeshift lid time is going to happen in about 5 minutes.
It's the best part of the show.
Because then it's going to simmer away covered for about half an hour after that. So now is the time to clear our station and just, get all prepped and make sure we're feeling relaxed. Are you feeling relaxed, Kyle?
Well, I was before you asked me if I was feeling relaxed.
It's like you sat in the dentist chair and they're like, just relax.
Don't panic. Well, now I'm doing nothing but panic.
Yeah.
Why would
really
you say
trying to
those
psych you out
things?
this week.
Jesus. Cook along.
Cooks have had an easy time of it. Now it's Psych Out Cook Along. That's the new show.
Is that why you want to do the rear window opening shot? It's actually turned into a Hitchcock thriller.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Kind of want to see what else is going on out there.
You're so nosy.
Certainly nothing as interesting as in Rear Window. Shame.
There's some bins down
murders.
there if you want to. Not yet. For dessert.
Lovely. Ooh, it's smelling good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is exactly the kind of simmer we want to see. Good bubbling.
Yeah. Nice.
Beautiful.
So we'll just leave that.
So we're just leaving that for the now. For the now. For the now.
Yeah, well done, Grace.
We're going to sip a little bit of wine.
Basil to kill time.
I might fill up my water. I feel I need to stay watered.
That's how Grace asks you to fill things up
That's
in
exactly.
this show.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to fill up my water. I mean, my lackey is going to fill up my water for me.
I realised last time I do a lot of we are now going to chop the thing, and it's like suggests that I've got anything
that you're going to do.
Yeah,
anything.
Any work at all. But what we are slowly working towards is making the dumplings, which we're going to do in the time that this is simmering. It's just we have such a luxury of time right now that we don't need to rush it. So I think we'll wait until the lid is on. Mostly because I have to find a lid. Well, maybe let's turn our attention to that.
Got it. I think it's going to be maybe this guy right here.
Classic bowl situation.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
There it is.
We've got our lid. Hopefully you have your lid too.
Hopefully you have an actual lid.
That would be even
To
easier.
make things just better for you.
And we can get out the equipment that we're going to need for making the dumplings. And that is, sometimes you just need the German word zwar. Und zwar, you know, it's so useful. A large mixing bowl.
That is my large mixing bowl.
Well, there you go. Screwed yourself.
No, you screwed me. You put the flour in
We
here.
can definitely put that flour into here.
Yeah.
And voila. There we go. I just needed it for the nice presentation, you know.
That's true.
So we got our mixing bowl.
There we go.
We are going to need a sieve or something to sift. Do we have that?
To sift the flour?
Yeah.
I never sift flour.
Okay.
No.
You don't really need it. It's just because we're mixing it with the baking powder that I usually like to sift them in together so that it's well dispersed, but we'll just...
I get around that by adding the baking powder to that, stirring it around really well
Perfect.
for about a minute, and then putting it all in together.
And that is
and
what
it
we
tends
shall
to
do
work
instead.
fine.
We are actually coming up to our 5-minute mark.
Yeah? Do you want to give it a wee stir?
I do. Get involved. It's nice when they let me get involved.
She just takes over. We don't let anything happen. She tells us to do something, we do it.
That's right.
And then she takes all the glory at the end.
All the glory.
Sometimes she lets us eat, but not always.
Yeah.
You want the lid
When
on?
the camera goes off, you don't know what
She
happens.
beats us.
Yes, let's pop the lid on now. Is that going to be okay without anything for steam to escape? Or that's good.
There we go.
Perfect.
Professional.
I think that's...
I've turned it down to 3. I think I would keep it at that now. We can turn it down a little bit later in about 20 minutes.
Because obviously when the lid goes on, it all gets a lot hotter in there, and
Yeah.
often the simmering then increases in intensity. So I imagine we're going to be turning ours down to 2 or even 1 as we go.
You can check the bubbles, I think. If it's bubbles like that, that's a simmer. If the bubbles are any bigger than that, turn it down.
Or if there are way more bubbles than that, you might
Or if there's
turn it
no
down.
bubbles, turn it up.
You have failed. You are not simmering.
You need to turn the stove on.
Yeah.
You haven't been listening. Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be, about 35 minutes on that.
You try and do that maths in your
I
head?
am trying to do that.
Yep. I saw you trying to be slick and
speaking really slowly, and
so
it's trying to do mental math.
smooth. Super smooth,
I think
Grace.
I've got it. I think I've got it.
But I had to call you out. Little bit.
Thanks for that. I mean, you say had to.
You know.
Chose to.
It's like we let you stir something. Words mean very loose approximations to their actual definition today.
All right, dumpling
Okay.
time.
My favorite time.
Oh,
I
so
did not need
excited.
to sing. I forgot there was a camera. Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. I can only assume everyone else did.
Oh, I wouldn't assume too much. Okay,
So, because we do not have self-raising, maybe you're in the same boat, we are going to add, it's a bad place for that, 2 teaspoons, did I say?
you said 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons of baking powder to our flour.
Okay, so I've used the teaspoon for sugar. If I rinse it, it's all going to stick. So I'm putting 4 half teaspoons. Just for anyone at home who's following exactly what I'm doing. I mean, they'll be fluffy. So it's half a teaspoon.
Do not be confused by our 4.
1 teaspoon.
Yep.
Teaspoon and a half. And I nearly said 4. 2
4
teaspoons. Again, numbers, not our strong
2
suit.
teaspoons.
2
Perfect.
teaspoons.
And it's nicely, see, this is often my other issue with this baking powder. It can be quite clumpy, and that's also why I tend to put it through a sieve. But fortunately, this one is nice and powdered, so
And
we should be fine.
If it is clumpy, you can use a fork.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
So we are going to mix this well and make a well.
Haha.
Song.
It's been a long lockdown.
Sure has.
We're all letting things happen that shouldn't.
So done with it. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Just thought of something else that
Did
I
you?
need to remember.
Do you want to share with the group?
Nope.
Or, excellent. The house is
while
on
you're-
fire.
not
No,
while
it's fine.
you're-
Keep cooking.
Very busy doing your stirring.
Okay.
Never dream of interrupting that.
Oh, thank you. It is quite soothing.
Mm-hmm.
Until the flour goes everywhere, and then it's very angering. Okay.
Beautiful. What I remembered is that at this point, we might want to start preheating our oven already. Again, this is going to depend on your oven. Obviously, Jules, do not preheat your oven. She has a fireball of an oven.
Oh.
But if yours takes a while, we're going to be wanting it to be at the temperature it needs to be. What a ridiculously long sentence. I could have said that differently. In 30 minutes. So do you think we should turn it on now?
Yeah, we should turn it on now. If you have a hunk of shit like this, you should have probably turned it on 10 minutes ago.
So we are going to be putting ours to 200 if it is a top and bottom heater. Oder Unterhitze, I never know really how we say that in English. And 180 if you are a lucky bastard and you have a fan oven.
I hate you all.
And we want to make sure that in the oven we just have a tray onto which we're going to put the baking dish. So just a wire rack, or I think a wire rack is totally fine if that's what you've got in there already.
Yeah.
Then we'll just put it straight into that. That's fine. That's a nice baking tray though. It's like copper.
Yep.
Copper look.
I bake a lot.
Amazing. Good. So that is
major cookies.
preheating. That is good. Back to our dumplings. I was about to say dumplings.
You just did.
We are now going to put that into... No, we're not.
No, what are we going to do, Grace?
I want to put the butter in first.
The butter is in the fridge.
I am retrieving the butter.
She is
Here it is.
getting the butter.
Cold butter. Retrieve your cold butter. And you're going to want to get a butter knife. Very apt. Just a normal knife will do. We don't want it too sharp though, is the thing. Like just a regular eating knife, really. Don't know why I'm fussy about this.
Yeah, don't
pick your battles, Jesus.
Very confused because I know what's about to happen and like.
And we're going to cube the butter. I would cube it straight into the thing. So we want cubes exactly that size. That was me sort of trying to measure butter out earlier. Yes.
Ooh,
exactly.
See, the only thing about cubing butter directly into the bowl is that your hands heat it up a lot faster than the chopping board.
Oh. That's a risk I'm willing to take, but Kyle is not.
I'm not.
So do as Kyle does, not
love
as
a dumpling.
Loves the dumpling, does Kyle.
That's exactly my accent. Just
That's
hidden
what
it.
I hear whenever
first.
you speak.
Everyone hears something different. I don't know what goes on. If anyone knows, let me know.
Let us know what you hear.
Let us know what you think. Number will be popping up on your screen.
We also want to add half a teaspoon of salt to our flour. I apologise, should have done that while we were doing the baking powder, really, shouldn't we?
Should have.
Yeah,
Should
woulda,
have.
coulda.
Okay.
You definitely want fine salt for this, which we have.
Half a teaspoon?
Half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon?
Oh, yeah, I was going to do it in the flour, but that's also fine.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm sure it is. We're going to be mixing it all together well, so it won't be a problem. Right, and in goes the flour. Fuck it in the bowl, Kyle.
I'm going to fuck it in the bowl.
And now we're going to be using this like one method that I remember from home economics or like cookery class. We are rubbing in, right? So
I did not need to do the creepy eye contact. I am so sorry.
Our fingertips. You want this motion, the classic Liz Meller hand motion. That's my mum. This is the motion that she makes whenever she's talking about delicious food and explaining it to people. She's like, "Oh, it was so."
Yeah, I do that.
Exactly
I wish I could laugh at her, but it's that or money. Like, same action.
That's it. You want the money.
Rich
the
things.
money thing is what we're going for.
Okay.
So you're taking up the butter between your fingerspitze and then you're rubbing it. This is getting a little bit Nigella.
Fuck it in the bowl.
And you're rubbing it. It's quite a swift movement that you kind of want to
You take your time, Grace. Take your time.
And this is known as the rubbing in method. And the aim is you kind of want to be, Kyle's lost it. Keep it together, Kyle.
It's like the opposite
We're
of the
rubbing
pull
in.
out method. Language.
Yes, it is exactly the opposite of the pull-out method.
So this is actually effective.
And you're really aiming to kind of coat the flour in the butter entirely. So you're going to end up with a texture that's a little bit like fine breadcrumbs. It's all going to be quite pebbly but very fine, and it just means that the butter is fully dispersed and coating all of the flour. And that's really what we're going for.
And you did say early, do it swiftly. It's so the butter doesn't lose temperature.
Yes, exactly.
Because
We
your
don't want the butter
hands
to get too hot.
do melt it quite quickly.
Yeah. And it's not the end of the world, like they'll still come out fine, but it is best to work with cool butter if you can. Oh, Carl's getting it everywhere.
I am. I tried to save the little bit that was over there and then just made a complete disaster of it. And I can't get it back into the bowl because it's fallen into the pesto oil. That's,
wow.
I mean, we should just give up now, Grace.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. So it's kind of like almost like a shortbread type texture, like a shortbread crust.
And we were always taught a good way of finding any pesky large clumps at the end is to tap and shake the bowl that you're working with a little bit, and then larger clumps come to the surface, apparently. I find this works sometimes.
Large clump.
There you go.
There we go.
And then you can rub in your large clumps.
So I'm rubbing in the large clumps.
Sounds like a song. Rubbing in the large clumps. Right? I think we've got a hit on our hands.
Do we? It will just be the one hit. It will not be one hit wonder, but
One
really
hit
wondering why it was a one hit thing in the first place. Okay, I think that's
beautiful.
Good.
Let's
There we go.
try and show people the texture we're aiming for as much as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
There we go.
It also smells really good, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. It's
Just flour
butter
and
and
butter.
flour
Yeah,
and salt.
so good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Perfect. So then you want to get the butter and flour off your hands.
Yeah, you want
Probably.
to definitely wash your hands well. Otherwise it will stick to everything else that you're cooking.
Yep. The pain.
I was trying to look at the camera when I said that, realizing the mic is on my tip. Did not need to look back.
Speak into your chest. And
Hello.
we'll hear you. So this might be a point when we want to check our bubble levels and see if we want to turn ours down or if it's got a good simmer
Yeah,
going.
if you don't have a lid with a handle, put something on.
Definitely, and beware of escaping steam as well.
Steam burns are some of the worst.
I think that's actually still, yeah, we can give it a little stir.
stir.
It's not super necessary to stir with a stew. I mean, it's kind of all just stewing,
Yeah.
as the name suggests, but why not?
Just to make sure that no
nothing's
chunks are stuck
sticking
to the
or-
bottom.
yeah,
But it's
that's
fine.
true.
If you do have chunks to the bottom, turn it down
Yeah.
because it's too hot.
Yeah, I actually don't think we need to reduce that temperature. What do you think?
No, I think it's fine.
still a
I think it's
decent,
fine.
a decent simmer. Great. So we can return to our dumplings. The cheese is what's going to go in now, which is that also in the fridge?
I imagine. Or did you leave it in the other room?
No, I think yes, here it is. So I did say that in total you want 80 grams of Parmesan.
Stop eating it, Grace.
30 of that is going to go on the top though, so we actually only want to add 50 into our dough mix.
Okay.
So you can either grate it all
That's about 30.
first and
Sticking that over there.
we do have scales.
That we do. I couldn't find them
We
though,
can
and I
do
was
it
trying
properly.
to subtly look around. I scanned
There
and
we
saw
go.
nothing.
So we want 50 grams of our cheese. Yeah, temperamental scales.
Yeah. There's no back.
That is tricky.
You left the back on the table.
It hasn't had a back the whole time.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh. Where's the back? It had a back this morning.
Oh.
So I'm just going to trial and error.
Work.
No. Oh, there we go. 18. So this is where I do this one-handed, and do not do this because you'll hurt yourself. 21. Again, not So if you are at home and you've got better things to do, 32, that's going to be fine.
That's perfect. So the rest, which should be 50 grams, we are going to grate into our flour.
My grater is...
Oh yeah, didn't give you a heads up.
No,
you were
didn't.
going to need
It's
that.
under here, exactly where my hand was.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, good news.
The back. There you go. It never made it.
You can all calm down at home now.
So you want to use the smaller grater side.
This one?
Exactly.
Don't know why I showed it like that.
That was very good. I liked it.
Thank you. I'm going to grate it onto something.
Yes, that is. If you have a box grater, that's probably easier.
I also just learned a new technique.
Oh, a new technique for grating.
For grating.
Who knew that we needed a new technique for grating?
Know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this towel so it doesn't scuff up this.
Right. What?
Yeah! And I haven't used it yet and I'm so excited. This is the happiest I've ever been, by the way.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. Anyone who knows me who watches this has never seen that before.
This is amazing because you're basically creating like one of those Tupperware things with the grater lid.
Yeah.
Who knew that we had one all along? We just needed to turn it on its side.
Yeah, there's probably hundreds of chefs not watching this, but there's hundreds of them out there going, these people are morons.
Oh, this is good. I mean, I imagine that it might kind of come out the sides a little bit, but I'm looking forward to seeing if it does.
No.
No?
Do you want to film inside?
I do, yeah.
It's just get a wee shot because it's beautiful.
Do I want to film inside? Oh yes.
Look at
Keep
that.
going.
Oh. It's turned into some sort of weird.
This is the money shot right here. Look at that. Works so well.
Just be very careful as the cheese goes in. So usually
you're gonna catch you cutting your finger.
Yeah. That's the money shot.
That's what people want, really.
Usually with Parmesan you hold it by the rind, but Grace doesn't give her friends the rind.
No, absolutely not.
Grace wants her friends to bleed for the cause. TK Maxx.
I would usually eat the nubs. Once it gets down to that, I just eat it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm so creepy today for some reason.
Body of Christ. That's what it reminds me of. The little wafer, you got it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not called snack time, which is what I used to call it.
Snack time!
The head nun got really angry with me one year.
I imagine that's the way to get kids on board, isn't it? It's snack time now.
Yeah, but nuns aren't known for their sense of humour.
I suppose you're right.
And they sneak up on you. like they float.
The floating nun.
Where the fuck did you come from?
So food. I feel we didn't get to talk much about food last time because there was a lot going on. We were busy cooking and such.
Yeah.
Where do you tend to get your recipes from, other than the amazing YouTube channel Time to Cook, of course?
Oh.
Fail.
I thought it was a boob food situation.
A boob job.
Did. And I'm not going to lie, I was going to go for it.
I'm so pleased.
Anything for you, Grace.
That's how comfortable we make people feel on this show, you know?
Because we all know it's exactly what you would do at home.
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to create.
Exactly. No, I was really lucky. My parents both really liked to cook. My dad loved to cook, so we always had cookbooks. And we would sometimes...
Do you still use some cookbooks that you remember?
I still have recipes from cookbooks. And if there's a certain recipe that I want from like childhood, my dad just goes and takes a picture and sends it to me. Yeah.
Do you have your own recipe book now then? Because I have one that I'm just in love with my recipe book.
I kind of stopped writing them down because I tend to cook. I have quite a good, I was going to say repertoire, and then realized I sounded like a dick. So I have a good kind of base of recipes that I cook a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky enough to have quite a few of them.
Obviously you shared your amazing veggie curry with us last time.
That was good. But that actually wasn't one from before. That was just one that I think I found on All Recipes, which is a decent site.
Yeah.
I would say look for the number of reviews and the number of stars. If it's 5 stars but 2 reviews.
Yeah.
not really.
Or just 2 people have tried it and it was incredible.
I don't trust people. People are often
I
wrong.
always go for number of people.
It's usually the person who wrote it and their mum.
Yeah.
Delicious. Honey. Like,
yeah, all recipes I have used a few times.
yeah. And then BBC Good Food.
Yes.
Always.
A classic.
Yeah.
Shout out again. Of course, that is where this recipe came from. We did mention it in the intro video, but we haven't yet. I guess we should add this cheese.
Yeah. I mean, do you want one more?
I've got it this side as well, actually. It's perfect.
That's beautiful.
So let's see now
I
how
am
good
just
it
going
is
to get
to...
all of that extra, because there is extra on the top, so you just want to go ahead and get that, because it's delicious.
I don't want to waste any.
No.
Okay,
let's try. Ready? All of it?
Yeah, all of it.
Oh,
it's satisfying. That's incredible. What a great idea.
I mean,
a minimal
excellent.
mess.
Excellent. And we tried it together.
Excellent. Yes.
Wonderful.
First time.
Okay.
Together.
So
we'll mix that through with the knife, I would say, or try not to use your hands because that will just be making it warm.
Okay, then I would recommend using a fork so that some of the smaller chunks can go through.
Yeah.
Almost like a sieve.
Yes, that's true.
With the kind of flour and butter mixture, you really don't want to be. You don't want to be rough.
No,
you want to be gentle.
Be gentle with it.
And not too many. Try to minimize the amount of stirring you do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So that advice is particularly important now when we're adding the milk. You really want to swiftly bring it together once the milk is added in. In the recipe, they suggest to do this with a knife, so I always use the same knife that I've used for the butter. But if you want to use the fork instead, that's also fine. But they say to start with 50 mils, and then if you need a little extra, yeah, ours doesn't really go low enough to be that exact, but I would say we do pretty much all of the milk that's in there because that's 60. And yeah, then it depends on the texture of your dough as to whether we need that extra 10 mils or not. But we add the 50, we bring it together very quickly with a knife until it's all holding, and then we'll go in with our hands and bring it out onto the surface.
Excellent.
Okay?
And if you are really worried, what I say with any doughs or breads or anything like this, always add less liquid. You can always add more. You can't take it out once it's there.
Yes.
And it's really hard to balance it out again.
Bit by bit.
So I was just laughing while Grace was explaining. It's too low to go to 50. It starts at 100 and half of 100 is 50. We are really bad at math.
No, but when you're doing like a 50 to 60, when you want to leave 10 mils,
right.
It's like, that's a bit tricky with something that starts at 100.
You're right, Grace. Yeah. It's your show, so it'll be nice. I'm going to leave a little bit back just in case.
So we'll swiftly bring it all together. And then it should become clear quite quickly if it's going to hold or if we need to add a little bit more.
You're going to need a little bit more, I think. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're going to need the full 60. We don't even know if there's 60 in there. We might need
I think it was 50.
A bit more still.
Yeah.
Shall I get the milk out of the thing?
Yeah, that would be good. Do you want me to do that too, Grace? So like
I got it. I got you. But yeah, I would maybe try to bring it together with your hands first.
Yeah. I think that's actually enough. So the thing with like cheese and butter and flour is it doesn't actually take much liquid.
No.
Because
I think that's good. I think we don't want to work it with the knife anymore. Let's bring it together gently with our hands. Just to make sure it all... Yeah, I think that's perfect.
I think that's fine.
Good. The milk can go.
I just wanted to make Grace go to the fridge and do something. I mean,
so we'll move the bowl out of the way. We will bring that together briefly on the countertop.
Yeah. I'm going to do it over there because if your countertop is already kind of messy and dirty, don't do it on the same because you're going to get all sorts of... Thanks, Grace.
There we go.
Again, Grace really doesn't like doing anything.
Gorgeous. That looks absolutely perfect.
Wonderful.
So you can see nothing's falling off, so it's all sticking together well, but it's also not too sticky. And that's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah.
So now we want to split it into 8 equal balls, or as equal as you can be bothered to do it. I have been known to use a little electrical scale to make them all roughly the same size. Kyle looks like she's going for a sausage approach, which is very clever.
I tend to put it into like a sphere like this, or a sausage, and then just twist really gently, because then it doesn't fall apart. Another method, that old, not cling film, the stuff you floss your teeth with. Dental floss, not minty. If you roll it out lightly, you can cut through it.
Yeah, use it like cheese wire.
Yeah.
Very good. Who knew there were all of these uses for dental floss? Beyond flossing your teeth.
Dentists. Probably.
They just use it for everything.
They don't actually floss, that's what they mean. Okay.
Perfect. This is a very good method. And then you just want to make them into little balls. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is so good, this dish.
Me too.
It quickly became my partner's new favourite when I made it for the first time. And I would say if you are making this now just for one or just for two, what I tend to do at this point is I make it all, but I use a smaller dish for the oven cooking part. So I'd only put half the stew into the dish and then...
But all of the dumplings.
All of the dumplings, genuinely.
Yeah.
At least 6, 3 each. And then, the dumplings you can freeze even, or you can just put them in a Ziploc bag in the fridge. You could make up the whole thing if you're not eating it straight away and put it all in the fridge, and then it's like a super easy dinner just to pop in the oven. Okay. Beautiful.
There we go.
So this brings us, as if by magic, to the 30-minute mark on this. So let's see how it's doing.
We've timed this well. Again, if the steam's going to come out, back up.
Yeah.
Do not let that hit you in the face.
Back up.
Give it a stir.
Let's give it a stir.
And just to make sure.
So I think it is looking a little bit wet.
Turn it up a little bit.
I think the temperature's good, but I think we'll leave the lid off.
Okay.
And just let some of that liquid
steam off.
Boil off a little.
Cool.
Yeah. Beautiful. So that also
Excellent.
actually gives our dumplings a little time to rest, which especially because we're working with baking powder is no bad thing, because that kind of allows it to mingle and activate a bit, I feel. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So if the only reason I'm doing this is you can get it off glass really easily, if it's on a surface, it doesn't, it kind of sticks.
Yeah.
Especially as the butter starts to melt, and it can ruin them.
And they just look gorgeous.
It just looks really nice.
So nice. So what we can do is grate the other 30 grams of our cheese, which is going to be sprinkled on top. If you also want a moment to clear up your side, we can do that. It's totally allowed.
Or to drink.
Or to have a little sip of wine.
Cut more of the cheese, because you ate the little nubs that you put off to the side, which is definitely what I would have done had Grace let me.
We've got more in the fridge. Just say the word and it's out.
Okay. So all of it, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
This is the remaining 30 grams that was measured out so carefully.
I just had butter from the knife earlier. It's the only thing I'm taking off.
I'm going to get another money shot, because why not? You only live once.
And with this amount of Parmesan, we will only live once.
But what a good life it will be.
Worth it.
The best.
I'm really glad. I don't even know where I found this technique, but I only read about it the other day.
Huh. Well, I'm very pleased that I was able to witness.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked.
For the first time. Worked so well.
Do you want a nub?
I would love a nub. Thought you'd never ask. Thank you.
Happily give you my nub.
Parmesan cheese and red wine.
Oh,
what is better in life?
the cookie.
That's true.
Yeah.
That will happen afterwards.
We're not living long.
I used to work at a pizza restaurant, Pizza Express. I think I've talked about it already.
Probably.
And I would just eat the Parmesan by the spoon. Thank you so much. I lost
Offer
them
it
a
to our
lot of
guests.
money. I'm so sorry. How rude.
Ugh. I feel like your mother. Guests first.
Offer it to the guests. Oh, no.
I swear we raised her with manners. She just lets us down every time. But your job at Pizza Express, darling.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, I just ate all their cheese, basically. And the banoffee pie. Used to accidentally drop a lot of pieces of banoffee pie.
Do you think?
Not on the floor, because then I wouldn't be able to eat them. But like if you drop them on the plate, so it's like, oh no, it doesn't look pretty. Then you get to eat it.
Oh, I feel like you'd still eat it off the floor.
I probably would. I just wanted to say that for the camera.
Did you ever eat it off the floor? I'm so invested in your answer that I'm willing to grate my fingers on camera for you.
No, honestly, hand on heart, I did not eat it off the floor.
She's lying.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have, but
She's
it
definitely
never
lying.
occurred that I did. I did drop an entire pizza on a man's back once. He was wearing a white shirt and it was a fresh out the oven hot pizza and it slid off the plate, tomato sauce side down, onto his back and just clung there. Seeping through, burning his
Did he
skin.
notice right away and did you walk away?
It took a moment of me standing there going, but it was a round table, so all the guests knew immediately.
But if they didn't like him?
No, I think it was his birthday. I think they were all there for him.
Well, you ruined his day.
I think I made him the star, you know? He got a lot of attention for the burns.
But he was going to anyway, it was his birthday.
Well, you know, I just made sure that it happened. Whatever.
Just making sure that you get...
Just making sure that he gets the attention he deserves.
Yeah, of course.
Looking great.
Seems like it's thickening up.
Yeah. I think for the last 2 minutes that I reckon that needs, we're going to chop our parsley garnish. And this just means that while it's cooking in the oven, we'll have literally nothing to do. And we can just chill out, as can you at home.
Because you were doing so much
So much
before
before.
Grace. Okay, I'm going to bring it over here. So
Very
how much
good.
parsley do you want?
Half that bunch, I would say.
Okay. Have you washed it?
I have not. In fact, it has soil all over it.
Yeah, I was like, that's really sandy and gritty.
You could use some of yours, which is probably pre-washed if you like.
Oh, I doubt it. No.
It's older though.
All right.
No, but I mean, like, if you wanted to use it up and keep the fresher stuff, that was also
Oh.
fine.
No, I mean, we'll go through it.
Okay, good.
It's
Parsley
Parsley.
fiend.
Parsley.
Sometimes I over-apply that app rule.
She over poshes.
Yeah. No, over non-posh.
If you
To
drop
avoid the R of like bar, or I would say
the
bath.
what?
R.
The what letter?
R. Do you want me to say the like phonetic name for it?
I want you to pronounce the letter you're trying to say.
No, I'm not doing a letter. I'm doing the A sound.
I
in,
genuinely thought you were trying to say the letter R
No.
and failing. I was like, Grace, you're dropping the R when you say the letter
I'm
R.
doing the bath and glass sound that I lost when I moved north and said bath and glass.
Yeah.
But sometimes I over-apply that like parsley.
One of my friends at uni, Sarah, sounded quite posh. She was from Bedford. She wasn't, but she sounded quite posh. And
It's just the issue of living in that part of the country.
Yeah.
Like, that is just your accent.
and I once asked her, I was like, "Do you say Fanta?" Because I honestly didn't know.
A Fanta limon,
Fanta, please. Extra fizz. All right. And she thought this was hilarious.
Well, it's a good
It was a
question.
genuine question.
Yeah,
She
it is
did
the
not
kind of
answer.
thing where you would wonder.
And I did.
Had you asked?
Okay, so I'm just taking the stems or the stalks away
Very nice.
because you don't want those in the dish.
No, doesn't work so well with parsley.
No, if there's
Find like coriander, you can get away with thin stalks, but not.
not parsley, it might take a few minutes, so you might want an
amongst
anecdote.
yourself.
You might want an anecdote. I mean, you might want to
Is
go
our oven
refill your drink.
heated?
That is the question. It's always the
Does
question.
the light go off when it's ready?
Oh, the light needs to be replaced.
Ah, right. So it means nothing that it's
It means absolutely nothing.
on or whatever. Well, I think it will be fine.
If it's been heating up for half an hour, it should be okay.
Exactly.
Maybe. Who
Actually,
knows?
I think because I think we should put the stew in now. We'll chop the parsley during the 25 minutes that it's in.
Yeah, that's fine. I think, I
We've
mean,
de-stalked it, and
now
that
that-
is the main bit of the job, I
Yeah.
find, with parsley.
I'll just get this one. Is that enough, though? I think that's
I think
probably...
that's plenty. Yeah, it's a nice handful.
Then we'll get that piled. True.
And that's what we want.
Leave those stalks. Put that with its family.
So
Let it just be headed.
Stew can come off the heat, or we can turn the heat off.
I would turn it off.
You would like.
So that you don't forget to turn it off.
That is a very good idea. And then we need to, this, our nice Pyrex dish. So bring out whatever dish, if you're not cooking in the casserole dish you're going to be putting straight in the oven, bring out the dish you will be using and decant basically. Pour the stew into there.
I'm just going to put it on this because it's closer.
Yeah.
Do not put it on the one that you just turned off.
No, also careful of splashback at this point. You definitely want to...
I would pour it in just a little at a time.
Yes.
If you can hold it with one hand, do.
Yeah.
And spoon it out. But as you can hear, it splashes.
Yes.
So it's going to go everywhere.
Beautiful.
Also try not to rest that on this because it might
Tip
it or break it. And then you'll have glass in your dinner.
Yay!
Yay!
Very well done.
Great for those friends that you don't want to come back.
Into life. Never mind your home.
All right.
So that is a good deep dish. I feel like our dumplings,
TK Maxx, $3.99.
Our dumplings might submerge a little bit, but that is totally fine.
Okay.
So now we retrieve our little dumplings, these little beauties.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should have. We should have tasted it first, seen if it needed any more salt. You want to give it a little taste just now? We can always mix it through when it's in there.
Exactly.
So yeah, definitely taste at this point. Be careful, it will obviously be hot.
I would take from the edges and only take liquid.
Very good.
Because you don't need to taste the vegetables.
Still give it a little blow.
I'm okay with it. I think any more salt might be awful, but I'm going to let Grace taste it as well.
Might be awful. Is it very salty?
No, just sometimes if you're adding it when it's not cooking, the salt can be a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't... I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With the Parmesan as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to arrange our dumplings.
Do we need to flatten them?
No, just as they are. You want them in little balls.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Getting excited now.
Very excited.
Now these are going to expand, so you do want to leave a little bit of space. Obviously, if they join together, it's no bad thing. Do a whole topping of dumpling.
A dumpling bridge. That's what you have.
Beautiful.
I'm going to kind of go like that a little bit. So there's like...
And then we're going to sprinkle over that cheese. Oh yeah. I tend to like focus on the dumplings when I'm sprinkling this because that's where you get the like really cheesy crust and that's what you want. But it can really just go all over.
Cheesy crust.
Cheesy crust. Yes. 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 I'm just going to keep going. Yes.
Oh God, yes.
Yes. Hells yes.
More
10
more
times
like
yes.
that. Right there.
And then the rest you can just sprinkle around over the sauce and everywhere. Something's going on outside. Oh,
Something's going on in here.
Beautiful. And into the oven it goes.
Okay. Doesn't need to be covered or anything?
No, so this is, yeah, pop it in first and then I'll kind of explain.
Okay.
So you want it on the middle shelf.
Short ways, long ways.
Whatever you prefer.
I would go like this.
That is easier to get out.
Because otherwise, if you have a shit oven like me, the back will cook faster.
Ah, very good. Beautiful. So once yours has gone into the oven, set your timers for 25 minutes. The only thing I would say during that time is to check back around the 20-minute mark because the top of the dumplings can start to go a bit too brown at that point. So in the past I have put a sheet of baking parchment on top around 20 minutes so that it gets the full 25 minutes without the dumplings burning because you want them to go nice and brown but you don't want them to go black. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. So as if by magic we're going to cut to... Damn it, we should do the click again.
We're
going
can
to
do it
cut to it coming out the oven. And we're back chopping our parsley, which we might have forgotten to do because we got distracted.
What'd we get distracted by, Grace?
Our wine. And having a nice sit down because, my goodness, am I exhausted after all the work I've had to do.
It must have been real tough, Grace.
So tough.
Honestly, I've been thinking about you the whole time.
Yeah.
Wondering how you've gotten through.
It's been tough, to be honest. Not used to it.
It's been emotional.
So hopefully you can smell... Actually, you can't because we've skipped ahead.
Also,
let me tell you that in 20 minutes' time, you're going to be smelling those cheesy dumplings and salivating. And we just had a check in the oven and it's looking pretty incredible in there. Would you say so far?
Yeah, it looks delicious.
So we are ready to bring it out of the oven. And I think that parsley is well chopped.
Yeah, it's good.
And
does not want to come off the fingers, but that's fine.
Get this shot.
All right.
Ready for this?
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Are you sure?
I'm so ready. They're so big.
Look at that. All right, bye to the rest of you because we're going to eat.
That's a 2-person portion right there.
All right. I'm just going to take this out of the oven.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please.
Delicious.
So I think we've decided it really looks its most beautiful like this. So all we're going to do is sprinkle over some parsley. Mm-hmm. Please do it in your best kind of Nigella style.
Parsley. Don't know what the fuck that was. So you can do whatever you want. Okay, I think...
Gorgeous.
Yeah, because it's hiding the dumplings.
Serve that up. I mean, now that I've looked at the size these dumplings have come out, I think 2 per person is probably about right.
She's wrong. 4 per person.
It's the only acceptable portion size. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoy this absolute feast and that it comes out as well as this looks like it's come out. I'm doing a strange thing right now. Too much wine. Yeah. All right. Guten Appetit to everyone at home. Let us know how it turns out. Thank you, Kyle, for being such a wonderful cook.
Not a problem.
Can't wait to eat that cheese. All right, everyone. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.